As an individual, all you need is stats and accolades. Your spot is solidified. As a team player, what position did you play? Who did you play with? Who did you play for? Who was on your team? Who was your coach? There's a lot more variables. As you can tell from the title of this video, I have Tom Brady as the greatest to ever do it according to his resume. A lot of y'all are trying to tell me that Floyd Mayweather is the greatest boxer of all time. 50-0, right? He has a bronze medal in the Olympics. Well, let's look at Sugar Ray Robinson. 173 wins, 109 knockouts with 19 losses. 0 losses to 19, you're gonna say Floyd Mayweather has to be better, right? Well, not when you factor in that he won more than 3 times as many bouts as Floyd Mayweather. Let's bring up the Olympics. Floyd Mayweather goes to the Olympics, he has a bronze medal. Sugar Ray Robinson goes to the Olympics, he wins 4 gold medals in 2 different weight classes. It's not that simple. I can't even give Floyd Mayweather the guaranteed best boxer of all time, so let's not even try to compare him to Brady. Let's take it to tennis. Serena Williams, 85% win percentage, better than Roger Federer. If I'm not mistaken, it is the best in the history of the game. But she is 5th in titles. So she has the individual statistics, but she has 73 titles to the first place's 167. Again, we've already passed, more than doubled what she would need to get to have the most in titles. Individual statistics, but not enough titles. I can't guarantee you that she is the best tennis player of all time. So why would I compare her to Tom Brady? Now this is where I ruffle some feathers. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Now understand, he has 6 championships. Yes, he was 6-0, but he is 5 short. That's almost double of how many the most titles one man won in the NBA. On top of that, if he was top 5 for every major statistics, we would have even more of a debate. I would say it would take him to be top 5 in every statistic, plus have about 9 rings. That means you're short of the most championships, and you're not even guaranteed to be number 1 in every statistic. You just gotta be top 5. I'm being lenient. He's neither. So why would I automatically say that he's better than Brady? Well, LeBron has all the stats, but I'm not showing favoritism. LeBron doesn't have the titles. Now he's got 4, and it's not even upsetting to me that he lost some. He's 10-4. I don't really care about that. How many do you end up with is the question. I don't believe that he'll end up with enough titles and enough regular season MVPs to have caught Tom Brady. There's also the argument, let's say that LeBron plays another 4 or 5 years, ends up with 7 titles. So that's 7 championships, 5 MVPs. Now we're talking about something. But I ask again, if it's about having the best resume, don't you have to stand out in almost every category possible? If he ends up with 7 and 5, he'll be 4 short of the record for NBA championships. So him and Jordan fall in the same boat. You have the statistics, but not enough accolades, or you have the accolades and not enough statistics. Now here's one of my personal favorites. Let's go golfing. Tiger Woods is currently amongst 80 million other golfers worldwide, 245 of which can play in a PGA tournament. Now, Tiger Woods is tied for first with PGA tournament wins at 82. He's second with major wins at 15 behind Jack Nicklaus's 18. Here's my question. Do we take into account that he's competing with 80 million? That's just this year, not to include all the golfers that have ever played or tried to play the sport. We only hear about the big names. Do we take into consideration that he's competed against all these golfers for over a century, whereas Tom Brady, there may have been 20 to 25,000 total NFL players to ever come through the NFL. Mind you, only a small percentage of that played the quarterback position. So this is how I chalked it up. Tiger Woods would need to either have more majors than Jack Nicklaus, or he would need to break that tie to make this a debate. Until then, I just don't see it. Now, in his defense, he has more time than everybody else on this list, including Tom Brady, to solidify his spot for the greatest. I mean, he's not even 50 yet, and he can play until he's probably about 70. Realistically, early 60s, but he can probably play until he's about 70 if Father Time doesn't get him first. Here is the only athlete that I will accept competing with the resume of Tom Brady. Shout out to Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps started at the age of 15 from 2000 to 2016 and went on a tear. Completely dominated the aqua world, if you will. Pan-Pacific Championships, World Aquatic Championships, and most notably, the Olympic Games. Competed in over 11 competitions, winning 3 bronze medals, 16 silver medals, and 65 gold medals. Now, to most of y'all, that probably doesn't mean much, but before I break that down, let me give you 2 more little jollies. He has 39 world records, 29 of which are individual, 10 are in the relays, which is pretty much a team. He has 21 Guinness World Records. Now, this is somebody, again, the Olympics have been around for centuries, compared to football, compared to basketball, compared to baseball, so on and so forth. Probably the closest one, which is still not touching it, is golf. So I place Tiger Woods just below Brady with a possibility that he could one day catch him. Michael Phelps is the only one that I'm willing to debate that he might already be there. If he's not with Brady, he's past him, potentially. Outside of that, it becomes very biased. Pan-Pacific Championship and the Aquatic Championship are swimming tournaments or championships only. He faces the same people that he faces in the Olympics. 65 gold medals. The only time that man did not win a medal when he went to an event was in 2000. He was 15 years old. He placed 5th. I'll make an exception. To be fair, now I have to give Brady's, so bear with me. 7 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 Most Valuable Player Awards, 2 Offensive Player of the Year Awards, a Comeback Player of the Year Award, 3 First Team All-Pros, 2 Second Team All-Pros, 14 Pro Bowls, 4 NFL passing touchdown leaders, 3 passing yard leaders, 2 NFL passer rating leaders, NFL completion leader, 2000s All-Decade Team, 2010s All-Decade Team, unanimous 100th anniversary all-time team. As I close, let me say this. I am in no way, shape, or form a Tom Brady fan. I respect what he's done, but nobody to this day can argue me down. I believe Bill Belichick was the biggest influence on why the Patriots were so dominant for so long. Yes, I understand he just won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That has absolutely nothing to do with what went on when he was with the Patriots organization. The easiest, the simplest way I can put this is none of them, Serena, Mayweather, Jordan, LeBron, even Tiger, none of them set themselves apart every aspect, every single variable of their sport. Tom Brady has done that. If you want to argue accolades at one point in time, the only one that you really could have given me was Joe Montana. Okay, he went 4-0. I would rather be 7 out of 10 than 4-0 in any sport. I don't care. Same way with Jordan. I would rather, if it's about championships, I would rather be 11 out of 13 than 6-0. So again, if you can give me an individual, a player that ranks top 3, maybe top 5, depending on the sport, for every statistic possible for their position, for whatever it is that they're playing, if it's an individual sport, and also tell me that they lead, they've got so many wins that no franchise has as many as them. If it's a team sport. If it's an individual sport, are they blowing everybody else out of the water? Have they almost doubled the next man's wins, or the next woman, I apologize, wins? If not, again, the only one that is competing with Brady's resume right now is Michael Phelps. It's that simple. If there is somebody that I forgot, please drop them in the comments. I mean, no disrespect to any player that has come through, and there probably is. We're talking about, again, centuries of athletes. Last couple decades of sports have really completely taken off when it comes to individuals breaking records and doing absurd things out on the field, the court, or whatever. But if you're going to refute what I'm saying, you gotta make it make sense. Are you drunk yet?